stole it. Like these two men, and I say that because I want to present the evidence. That was evidence. The two pieces of evidence at trial were the DNA is 100% match and he had the phone, mostly his DNA, but these two men don't really get to talk. So I also wonder, again, conspiracy theory hole, is it the police saying both sides? Like, I just don't know.
I also wonder with the garden hoe, with all the torture and interrogation, were they like, hold this murder weapon. Do you remember how it feels in your hands? And then they're like,
that's another thing that is crazy. And this case really has so many Central Park 5 vibes to me. So in the documentary is worth watching. There's so much footage. So there's two reporters who actually like sneak a phone into, like in this documentary, they sneak a phone into the jail and talk to the men.
Oh, whoa.
And the men are like,
that's risky.
No
rules on this island.
They like sneak a phone in and they record. So you get to see that. They show part of the police not the interrogation, but it's very Central Park 5 where the police kept hounding them and made them like recreate it. But the police were kind of helping them. So there's this weird live footage in the but real footage in the documentary. It's not like a reenactment where you see the two men who are accused in a room with a bunch of detectives, and the detectives are making them literally act it out. Like one of them lays on the ground and they hand him something and they're like, show me how you did it. And at one point the kid is like, he's 25, but he's like, he's like shaking his head and you can tell he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And one of the detectives all weirdly like strokes his hair a couple times.
Ew.
And then all of a sudden he remembers. And I'm like, it just gave me this feeling of like, I bet that was a detective who tortured him and was like, remember? Like it was just it's one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. He literally like strokes his hair in a weird way. And
there's some Outlander stuff happening there. I'm just like, ugh.
It's weird. So again, and I don't know, maybe he did have the phone, but it's just, that's the only piece of like damning evidence.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to sidetrack a little bit. Not that I already haven't, because this matters. The murder of Hannah and David is not the only superficial murder of Westerners or tourists on Koh Pao. I'm going to talk about some.
Oh.
8 months earlier, a man named Nick Pearson was on vacation with his family. It was with his brother and his parents. They're hanging out on the beach one night around the same beach. Not the exact same area, but like on the same main beach. Hanging out. They go to bed. His family sees Nick go into bed and say goodnight. The next morning when his family wakes up, Nick is dead on the beach.
No.
And they actually show they show the walk down. So the hotel's kind of up higher, but it's on the beach. So you have to walk down this like long wooden path.
Okay.
And so at first his brother is like, well, maybe, our first thought is like, did he sleepwalk and fall? Nick had no broken bones. And I mean, you have to walk down this long wooden rickety path to get to the beach. And you're just surrounded by giant rocks. If you first of all, if you fell, you wouldn't fall all the way to the beach. You'd land on a rock. Second of all, you'd have some broken bones. He just was like dead. And police just called it an accident. His family says there's more to the story. And I fucking agree.
Well, there has to be.
His family also said in the interview that the night before, their son had been talking to a Thai woman when they were all out. And he was warned by a Thai man to stop talking to her. So his family wonders if he upset the wrong person.
Yeah, perhaps.
There are 6 others in 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
There's a young woman on a nearby beach who's found murdered, and her parents are interviewed in the documentary. And her dad is saying, that morning a man is seen leaving her hotel room, and he's probably the last person to see her alive. And then like soon after, and they don't think he wasn't a suspect, but her dad said that police never even talked to the man who left. So like police, it's just this over and over where police don't do investigate. Her dad actually tracked down the man and talked to him and was like, I know you didn't do it, but he just wanted to talk to her. But it's
a crazy world where family members have to solve the crimes with their loved ones. Like, come on.
It's just,
we hire and pay people to do that. Like, come on.
Yeah. So that's 8 in like 2 years.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's just the same pattern of like, I mean, they're not all like this case where 2 people are accused, but it's like, oh, they're dead on the beach. It was an accident. And they just close the case.
Okay.
So now we're at the trial. So the trial starts for Zaw Lin and YFIO with DNA as the main evidence. And there is, I don't know if you knew, I didn't know this, at least here, there's no jury. It's up to 3 judges. So
no,
3 judges sit and listen.
Well, it's similar to Italy. It's like a panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prosecutors argue DNA is 100% match.
Okay.
The defense argues that the men were forced to confess and set up. The 2 men deny any involvement. Then Oh, then during the middle of the trial, you know the group Anonymous?
Mhm.
Anonymous takes on the case.
Oh, hey.
They hack, and I watched the video. It's crazy. They hack and crash the Thai police system. Then Anonymous releases a video with like the Guy Fawkes mask and everything saying that that Waipayo and Zalin are innocent. Laura, who's Hannah's sister, voices her support of the video and says she does not believe or trust the Thai police.
Oh.
She thinks they're wrong. But David's family says that they do believe the police and their evidence, and they do think these two men did it.
Okay.
The trial takes 3 months. On December 24th of 2015, the judges find the men guilty and sentence them to death.
Oh my gosh, death. Okay.
2 weeks after the trial, a British man is found dead in the same area on the beach. And like I'm not going into detail on that. Like I didn't look more, but it's just another death 2 weeks later. So technically this case is solved. Both men did have an appeal and the court upheld the decision. So they are sitting on death row in Thailand. And then sadly, 5 years and 1 day after Hannah's murder, which would have been last year, her sister Laura, who I mentioned, died at 30 after being hospitalized from an illness. So her family has lost 2 of their children. That's the insane fucking case on this. And then I read all these articles about this island, and it's just, and Thailand is like, why does it have a bad reputation? And people are like, because everyone dies.
Okay, I just got major chills because everyone dies. I'm sorry, I did not give that the attention it deserved. No, but I literally have chills right now because my case is also about a family that loses both of their children.
Oh, jeez. Well, okay, but what's your theory on? Do you think the 2 men might have done?
I think they may have, but I also feel like if there's no rules and if it may have been mafia related and like, you know that the police are going to do what the mafia says because that's just how that works. Like, I do wonder if they kind of like with the evidence, they're like, I'm going to just make this work and lied. Like, I don't have enough proof.
Yeah.
I feel suspicious. That's how I feel. I just feel skeptical and I feel suspicious.
If this case, I mean, I don't know, if I put myself in a jury and this case was presented to me,
I wouldn't know without a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I wouldn't find them guilty.
Because there's not enough.
Yeah, sure, there's a chance. But like I keep saying, it keeps bringing back to Central Park 5. And maybe the police, I don't know. From what I could tell from the research I did, they just found these men because they were Asian and they were out that night. Maybe they had other reasons, but yeah. But then but how did you pick 2? Like, I just don't it just doesn't, something doesn't add up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. There's something there that's missing.
Yeah. I mean, and David's family, like, and I watched them on video, his brother, they came out and publicly released a statement saying we have full faith in the police and we think the right men are behind bars.
Well, that's good that they feel that way.
Most people, I feel like, do not think they did it. Most of the articles, like the opinion articles, are that they didn't do it. They were railroaded. They were set up. That's
insane. What a strange case.
I know.
I'll say it for the 62nd or 63rd time, whatever episode we're on. Didn't know that one. Surprised I didn't know that one.
And it's just, insane.
Wow.
If you're into the documentary, it's Murder in Paradise. And it's a lot of, that was a big source, a lot of it. But seeing the footage is like different to see it for yourself.
Yeah.
But
good job, Caitlin. That was very well done.
Thanks. That took hours.
Oh, no, I bet.
Hours and hours. This is going to be a case that haunts me because the cases that really haunt me, I mean, they all do because it's when there's a murder victim especially. But what really haunts me is the chance that someone who's innocent might be sitting in jail, especially on death row.
Well, that's the chance of that. Is I don't want to say it's as much about each other, but like the victims were not only David and Hannah and their families. Like the victims are also potentially these 2 guys.
And the family doesn't, if you find the wrong people
and their families,
not justice for the murder victim.
Well, and you're leaving somebody very scary out there who could do it again to someone else. So there's a lot of victims in this case potentially.
Yeah.
And that always makes me feel so sad because nobody deserves to be on death row or put away at all for when you're not 100% sure, or at least really sure.
To your point earlier when I was, after I watched the documentary and I looked through the YouTube comments, 90% of the comments were like, stop fucking traveling there and giving them your money and maybe they'll have to get better. Like, tourists, stop going. And I agree with that. Put your money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with friends about this, but it's like, I don't know. This is a whole thing I won't get into, but sometimes I feel like voting doesn't do shit, but we can vote with our dollars. And
yeah.
if you think a place is corrupt, whether it's an actual location island or a fucking business,
Yeah.
you can, I don't know.
You can
It's a whole
choose
nother
whether or
rabbit
not
hole,
to.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
a whole thing.
Another beer?
Yes, let's do it.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, I brought my cash.
It's in the essential oils drawer.
What kind of bougie household has an essential oils drawer?
Mine. Alrighty. Welcome back to the show. Did you have a wonderful advertisement?
I'll still look at that store. Reminds me, I know I've said this, but when our friend was like, you guys keep asking us if we like the ads, and mine was about erectile dysfunction, and I was like,
did you like it? But did you like it?
That's exactly what you said last time, and it's still just as funny as the first time you said it.
Well, no, like somebody told me, they're like, do you pick your ads like languages? I was like, what? And they're like, my ad's always in a language I don't speak. I was like, I do not. No,
it actually has something to do with what platform you're listening and where you're at. So like, when I'm on Pandora, for example, I get ads. I still get ads from Alaska because they think I'm in Alaska. And the woman on Facebook who we were talking with, and you were like, oh, I recommend the newer ones. Yeah. And she's actually one of my high school teachers. Oh. But she was like, can you stop the ads about how Sears in Alaska is closing? And I'm like, well, no, because it has to do with where you live. It's all these different. Yeah. I mean, you know way more about that than I do, but
it's dynamic, which just means they fill it based on what they know about you, but they're not always accurate, because if you move and don't update something like random, like Pandora, like then you'll get that.
But if you're getting an ad for ED, we can't help you. Just
all right, you guys. Do you happen to have Barb on phone dial?
Oh, fuck. Oh, wait, hold on.
So this is another one of those drinks from a brewery that we get the name wrong every time. And our dear listener, Barb, corrects us every time. We say Omgang. Now,
I think it's Omegang.
Barbara.
She's going to kill me.
Barb, please don't kill us. It's Omegang. 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 It's OMME gang. And it has a unicorn with a little cup on it, like drinking.
Yeah, I was trying to search through my Instagram messages, but I thought she tags in her story.
Yeah.
Barb,
we're sorry. But this brewery,
we're sorry, but not sorry enough to learn how to say it.
I know. This brewery is quickly becoming one of my favorites. We've tried a lot from them. They're kind of expensive out here in Arizona. They're from Cooperstown, New York, and they make fascinating
That's why
beers.
I always grab them, because I know they're one of your favorites.
Oh, I love them. So this is Neon Rainbows, the hazy IPA. We picked two kind of rainbow drinks. This has really fun, like checker jester kind of colors with holographic rainbows all over it. And it's part of their Hop Heritage series, and it's a New England style IPA. Yeah. It is 6.7% ABV. And it says Neon Rainbows bursts with hop-driven notes of tropical fruit, citrus, and hints of pine. The hops are Citra, Mosaic, Simcoe, Centennial, and Topaz. Oh, that's interesting. They dry hop it twice, first with Citra and Mosaic, and then they hop it again with Topaz and Simcoe.
Can you have pine?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just can't have juniper.
Oh, okay.
Plus, it's probably hints of pine. Yeah. That might not mean.
I was like, what is it in gin? Gin tastes like pine. She
it's juniper.
What is it?
No, I think that one of these, I don't remember which one it is. It's either, I think it's Simcoe or Centennial that has a pine flavor. Just like the yeast they use in Hefts has a banana flavor, but there's not banana in it. It just tastes kind of like banana. Yeah. This is a very foamy beer. I even poured it correctly. And it's got like an inch, almost 2 inches of head. I don't like how it smells.
I really like it. This is besides the one we had before we were recording, this is my favorite one we've had today.
It's very flavorful. It's very hoppy. Mm-hmm. I like it. It's very funky. Definitely has a funk to it.
This is my favorite one so far. See, I think the peach, well, that was from the last episode. That one had a funk to it. Mm-hmm. This one is like that with less funk. I don't know. I like this a lot.
Yeah, because when it's not, it finishes kind of banana-y. That's fun.
It does really finish banana-y.
I like that a lot.
If you'd have to be a fan of IPAs or hops to like this, but this is delish.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend this to anyone who likes IPAs. It's a unique little IPA. It's fruity, but also very funky.
It's from Omegang.
Not sour.
Omegang.
Thanks, Barb.
Omegang.
And that's all, Barb. I'm sorry. All right.
Barb doesn't want to be our friend anymore.
Sorry, Barb. We do listen to you. We just forget. Are we ready for another case?
Yes. I'm so excited.
Okay. My case, I will say I texted Caitlin after I finished writing it a couple days ago, and I was a little messed up because one of my big sources